Easton is the oldest public high school in the city of New Orleans. It breathes the city because it holds a lot of tradition. When you look towards the school, you see this castle. And within this kingdom, everybody is a family.
We travel from place to place, trying to figure out where could we go, because New Orleans is our home.
I grew up in uptown New Orleans. I moved to Hammond, Louisiana.
I grew up in New Orleans, born and raised. Had to evacuate to Dallas, Texas, about 8 hours away.
We were determined that we were going to make it. Well, if this school didn't make it, the city wouldn't.
It is no either or, correct? It is both.
Every child had a book and every child had a seat.
Okay, he said it's 20 degrees Celsius.
Because science is just or more important.
It was a beacon.
Got it?
And it gave momentum to others that wanted to come back and open schools. It could not have happened without everybody working together and saying, this is our city, this is our school.
Without the school, where do we have to go? To get an education and to possibly venture out into other worlds and come back and help our community. If the school wouldn't have reopened, what future would we have?
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, We turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
Easton is the oldest public high school in the city of New Orleans. It breathes the city because it holds a lot of tradition. When you look towards the school, you see this castle. And within this kingdom, everybody is a family.
We travel from place to place, trying to figure out where could we go, because New Orleans is our home.
I grew up in uptown New Orleans. I moved to Hammond, Louisiana.
I grew up in New Orleans, born and raised. Had to evacuate to Dallas, Texas, about 8 hours away.
We were determined that we were going to make it. Well, if this school didn't make it, this school wouldn't.
It is no either or, correct? It is both.
Every child had a book and every child had a seat.
Okay, he said it's 20 degrees Celsius.
Because science is just or more important.
It was a beacon.
Got it?
And it gave momentum to others that wanted to come back and open schools. It could not have happened.
Maximum the volume on that.
Everybody working together and saying, "Yo, this is our school. This is our school."
Without the school, where do we get to go? To get an education into out into other worlds and come back and help our community. If the school wouldn't have reopened, what future would we have?
Hey Dave, while we're waiting for that to start, I want to get these out.
Oh, it starts at, we got there 5 minutes early. Okay, so we got a change of venue.
Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. In communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and start in just a moment here. Wanted to go over a couple of quick things. Again, I have everyone muted. That's for the ease of presentation, so we don't hear other background noise. As I realize a lot of you are watching from a group, from your club and such, so we don't want the background noise on that. Please keep it muted. If you want to use talk to people, use the chat function if you would, please. The best way to view it would be on the full screen, and please make sure such things as if you do want to say something again, do it via the chat. If you want to talk, most of what we have is recorded. So if you want to ask a question, it'll have to be done in the chat, and then we will pass it off to the individual. So I am going to, at this time, turn it over to our honorable MC. For those of you that don't know, Mike is, at this point, you do know he is a member of the St. Charles Sunrise Club. What you may not know, he is the, and I'm going to get this wrong, Mike, please correct me, I know you will, the chair, I guess, I don't know any other word, for the St. Charles County Commission, the St. Charles County Council, thank you. I knew you did. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, since I butchered what he did enough. And Mike will take it from there, and I'm sure he will get even with me later in the program somewhere.
Hey, it's all good. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. You are at the District 6060 Virtual District Conference. Like Dave said, my name is Mike Elam. I am a member of the St. Charles Sunrise Rotary Club, and I missed our meeting this morning because I started a new job this week, and I am actually in Peoria, Illinois. So I'm looking for a club up here to go make up with. I think you can count district conference as a makeup. I think that's right. So I'm going to claim that as the MC of district conference for this week. Well, it's day 3 of 5 of our district conference event. And each day this week, we have been starting our Zoom meetings at 11:45. Dave's done a great job of getting all that stuff together. And if you were watching earlier as you came on, you got a chance to see some things that have been going on with our clubs, and then just some Rotary things that have been going on. We've started each day at 12:05. But if today is the first day that you're joining us, and I see a lot of new faces on the call today that we haven't seen so far, welcome. We're glad you're here today. We've missed you so far. You've missed some fantastic stuff on Monday and Tuesday. But if you're wondering, hey, what's going on? Well, I can tell you every day has a theme, and we focus on the 7 Rotary areas of focus. That was redundant to say, wasn't it? But that's what we do. We also have an inspiring and informational keynote speaker. We've had some great ones so far. And every day we have information about how our clubs are using that 7 Rotary areas of focus to impact their communities. On Monday, we heard from District Governor Tom Drennan, and we are going to replay that message for you a little bit later on today. So if you missed Tom on Monday, you're in luck. You get to hear Tom again today. Yesterday, we met District Governor Margie Sammons and heard an inspirational story from Margie. So it was fantastic. We found out she used to attend a one-room schoolhouse, and she went all the way up to be district governor-elect. So that was pretty cool. Then we got to enjoy the Parade of Presidents. I love it that way. It's all the folks who are going to be leading our clubs starting on July 1st. So if the panic has not set in yet, it's okay. It will over the next few weeks, but we're all counting on you. So don't screw it up. No, it's going to be great. Everybody's here to support you. Today, what you've tuned in for is we are going to hear from our Ambassadorial Scholar, Hannah Rowald. And then tomorrow, we will have an in memoriam to honor those Rotarians who have passed away since our last district conference, which has actually been about 18 months or so. So we haven't seen each other in a long time. So those are things that are similar to our past district conferences. What's going to be different? Well, at this district conference, it's free. You don't have to pay anything to participate. You don't have to travel out of town. You don't have to stay in a hotel. You don't have to be away from your family and friends for a couple of days. Some of you, that's not as positive as it is for others, but it's easy to attend. And yesterday, we had people on a beach who were Zooming in on the call. We had people in Canada. So we're counting this as an international district conference because you can be anywhere. So we start every day at 11:45. We hope to have you out of here by 1 o'clock. So far, we've been good on that the first 2 days. I think we'll be good on that today. I want to express a special welcome to any District 6060 Rotarian who is attending a district conference for your very first time. We hope this is a great experience for you, and I hope that you learn more about Rotary, but specifically the work of what's going on in our district as you join us throughout the week. I also want to give a big special welcome to the Wednesday clubs that are joining us today. And we appreciate the fact that you have made district conference your meeting for the day. And I know some of you had, because when you started joining, you had the mic open and we heard all kinds of stuff. Hey, Dave, before we get started, I want to hand this stuff out. You got to love Zoom conferences, don't you? So our Wednesday clubs, they are Arnold, Cape Girardeau County, Clayton Ladue. Yes, Chuck, I saw you representing earlier. The Cottleville Weldon Spring Club. By the way, it's Weldon Spring. There's only one spring. Crestwood, Montgomery County, O'Fallon, Overland, Piedmont, Poplar Bluff, St. Charles, Sunrise, representing in the house, Troy, and Union, our Wednesday clubs. Thank you very much for being a part of this today. Like I said, there are people who are joining us from homes, from office. You are on a screen and people can see you, so just be mindful of that. But we appreciate you joining us from wherever you are. Each day of the district conference, like I said, we have a theme related to the 7 Rotary areas of focus. Today's theme is education. So it is very fitting that we get the opportunity to hear a brief message from this year's Ambassadorial Scholar, Hannah Rowald. Hannah received a $22,000 scholarship from District 6060. And here is her message to us.
Hi, my name is Hannah Rowald, and I'm the recipient of the 2020 Rotary Ambassadorial Scholarship. I was nominated and supported by my local Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Piedmont, Missouri. I'm currently enrolled in the Occupational Therapy Doctoral Program in MGH Institute of Health Professions located in Boston, Massachusetts. This past year, I've been completing clinical rotations across the country, but I am currently in Houston, Texas at the Tier Memorial Hermann Hospital. While in school, I've had the opportunity to serve both locally and extend all the way to globally. Locally, I was able to participate in a Minorities and Women in Science for one of the underserved schools, which was a super fun day. And then extending all the way to globally, I've had the opportunity to partake in electives, one specifically being community-based rehabilitation under Dr. Rawan El Haresh, who founded an all-inclusive Jordan. And we had hands-on learning experience and services provided at the Jordanian Gaza refugee camp in Jordan. I've always been supported by the Rotary Club, starting at a very young age, being able to attend the Ryla Academy, and then the support was continued throughout my undergraduate studies after receiving a local scholarship through the Rotary Club, and then now in my graduate studies. The members of my local Rotary Club have always been super supportive, both through the club and then just within the community itself. Always down for a chat and giving words of encouragement and support. And while there's been a lot of hard work on my part, I've had a lot of opportunities presented by others that have opened doors. And with the support of others, and especially the Rotary Club, just financially, and those words of encouragement, I've been able to enter through those doors. And it's provided me a lot of opportunities for growth, both personally and academically, that I would not find any other way. And for that, I'm forever grateful for the support the Rotary Club and its members have shown me. Thank you for helping me get here.
Thank you, Hannah. And thanks to the Piedmont Rotary Club for nominating Hannah to be our Ambassadorial Scholar. We wish her much success as she completes her degree in physical therapy and starts her career. Well, today's keynote speaker is Katie Renkin. If you were to see Katie somewhere in St. Charles, maybe at Schnucks, for example, with her husband, 2 boys, ages 2 and 7, you might have no idea what a remarkably successful woman that she is. When Katie joined our district group study exchange team in Mexico in 2011, I understand a number of her team members are joining us today, so welcome. She had already completed her bachelor's degree in international economics and Spanish at Rockhurst University in Kansas City. But while in Mexico for GSE, she made connections that allowed her to return to Mexico City and to earn her master's in economics and microfinance. She continued to live and work in Mexico City into 2019. Today, she is the vice president and portfolio manager for BMO Capital Markets, where she oversees a $2 billion portfolio of trade loans for exports and imports between the US and Canada and 7 Spanish-speaking Latin American countries. She loves everything about her job, but the best part is meeting people from all around the world and learning the ways that culture, economic policy, public health, language, governments, and environmental impacts are all woven in to transport commodities around the world and to move the global economy forward. This job is also a fulfillment of her goal at age 12, where she said she wanted to grow up and speak Spanish and help people. That's exactly what she's doing with her life right now. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome today's keynote speaker, Katie Rankin. Katie. Hi.
Good day. I am Katie Rankin. I'm honored today to share with you my GSE 2011 experience and the impact it has had on my life. A few highlights in my discussion today will be the importance of education, networking and human connection, and lastly, my favorite, changing what ifs into why nots. Before I can share with you my GSE experience, I need to start at the beginning of the journey, which will allow me to explain how I was chosen to be a GSE team member and the reasons why I am here with you today. In the 6th grade, I took my first Spanish class, and it was love at first hola. I remember coming home from that first day of class, and at dinner I told my parents that I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grow up, but that I wanted to speak Spanish and help people. In school, I fell in love with Latin American cultures, history, music, dance, food, and diversity. I did a study abroad in Spain during high school, and I went on 3 mission trips to El Salvador, which helped me to see parts of the world and parts of humanity that were new to me as a young woman, especially a young woman from Middle America in St. Charles, Missouri. During the summer after my sophomore year of college, I spent a summer studying in Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca is the poorest state of the Mexican Republic, but the richest in natural resources, color, and culture. My 6 weeks in Oaxaca was a complete immersion. My host family didn't speak English, and I had to walk 3 kilometers to and from school every day in the hot Oaxacan sun. The noises, the smells, the music, the traffic, the people, it was also intoxicating to me. I couldn't get enough. I went to Oaxaca to earn 9 college credits, but I gained more than I could have imagined. I returned from that trip knowing that I was on the right path. I needed to finish my undergrad degrees and to figure out what that childhood dream of speaking Spanish and helping people would become. Fast forward 1 year to the spring of 2003. I was getting ready to start internships and mock job interviews. I didn't want to date myself, but this was before the times of cell phones. So I had planned weekly Sunday afternoon phone calls with my parents. On this particular call, I was speaking with my dad about a job interview he had set up for me at Boeing. He gave me a rundown of who I would be interviewing with and some high-level details about the position. The last thing he said to me before we ended our chat was, no matter what, you must pursue every avenue in life. Take every opportunity. That was the last conversation I had with my dad, because only a few short days later, he died very suddenly. I was only 21 years old. I share this part of my story because of the impact it's had on my life. As you can imagine, I was consumed by grief. I went into survival mode. I wanted to give up. I wanted to quit school and move home. But his words kept buzzing in my head. I couldn't give up. So I stayed in college I finished my capstone and I graduated early with a double major in Spanish and international business. I was looking for my next step after that. Now you remember the story of my first Spanish class. Well, that same Spanish teacher called me out of the blue to say that US Bank in St. Charles, Missouri was looking for someone who would speak Spanish for them. That call started a 7-year career at US Bank, where I worked my way from teller to banker to assistant manager to branch manager. It wasn't common in those days to have a Spanish-speaking employee, so I gained quite a following of loyal clients. It was in this role that I discovered the importance of financial education and inclusion. I was teaching immigrants to balance checkbooks, save a portion of weekly paychecks, and how to build credit. Here's the kicker. I was speaking Spanish and I was helping people. One afternoon in 2011, a Rotarian cousin called to discuss the GSE opportunity. I had never heard of Rotary. Just by hearing about it and the GSE experience, I was like, yeah, sign me up. That sounds great. Of course, there was a formal application and interview process, but in the end, I was chosen along with 5 other professionals to participate. It was during this experience and trip that I met Jill Rogers. Many of you know Jill as a dedicated Rotarian. She was the lead Rotarian on our GSE trip, and we developed a strong friendship and remain very close today. Our GSE team went to Central Mexico, and toured for 4 weeks, attending local Rotary meetings. These meetings, we presented ourselves personally and professionally, highlighting our areas of expertise. We were hosted by several Rotarian families who welcomed us into their homes as if we were family, or as if we had been lifelong friends before this trip. These Rotarians were so excited to show us their towns and their traditions. We toured local businesses, clinics, and factories in line with our own professions. Of course, the trip wasn't all business. We had the opportunity to see historical sites, eat local foods, and immerse ourselves in language and in culture. On one excursion in particular, we took a bus tour of the city and we drove past the National University of Mexico. I learned that this 300,000 student university was free, and they offered a postgraduate degree in microfinance. Let me say that again. It was free. When I considered an MBA in the United States, I was always discouraged by the price tag and balancing the workday with the additional study time. As the trip ended and I returned to my US Bank job, I had a bad case of reverse culture shock. I had a nagging for change. I was 29 years old with an amazing amount of professional responsibility. I felt stuck in my current role, and I thought, what if I quit this job? What if I apply for the microfinance opportunity? What if I take my life savings and move to Mexico? Sounds nuts, right? Well, I put in my letter of resignation at US Bank. I applied for the National University. Within 3 weeks, I was in Mexico City for a face-to-face interview, and I was accepted for the 2011-2012 class. Later, I found out that over 5,000 applicants had been buying for only 25 slots in the program, and that made me work and study harder than ever before. The idea of microfinance was appealing to me because it was a chance to educate and empower a demographic of people that had never been considered important or worthy by major financial institutions. It is a mission still very close to my heart, especially working with Native women. During this year of study, I developed wonderful friendships with my classmates and the dean of students. On weekends, my friends would take me to meet their families outside of the city, and we would hike, go to rodeos, see ruins, eat, laugh, and most importantly, share time together. The stories I could tell would fill novels. I still have a monthly Zoom call with my 3 best friends from the National University, and we find ourselves laughing and swapping stories into the wee hours of the night. I finished that year of study, top of my class, and decided to stay 1 more year in Mexico. I changed my student visa to a work permit. On one of our famous Sunday afternoon calls, I remember my mom expressed her sadness that I would be staying longer than I had originally planned, and said, "You won't just stay one more year. You'll meet someone, you'll fall in love, and you'll stay forever." Well, she was half right. I took a job in an American firm, writing the quarterly investment reports in English. It was a boring 9 to 5, but this is where I met my husband. Casual lunch dates between colleagues grew into dinner dates, followed by weekend trips and outings, which have led us to this beautiful life together. During the same time, the Dean of Students at the National University reached out to me to see if I was still in Mexico. He asked me if I was interested in a job interview at the Bank of Montreal. He said my profile and education fit the description of the role, and he knew the hiring manager. Let me tell you, this role was created for me. I began working on a 2-man team in the rep office in Mexico City in the spring of 2013. My business partner and I managed the trade loan portfolio, cash management, and FX trading for 7 Spanish-speaking countries. In a typical year, we managed billions in capital market assets. One of the best parts of my job is the continued education and the need to be up to date in current events in these countries and globally. I read constantly as I need to know about politics, natural disasters, economics, healthcare, and crisis. These factors are detrimental in the performance of trade and the global economy. Another perk of the job is travel. I have been to Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Guatemala, Panama, and Peru so far. While most of our business happens by email and by phone, these face-to-face in-country meetings are imperative to strengthening our client relationships. We often tell our clients that they are professional counterparts, but they are also friends. This is key to our continued success year over year. In these years with Bank of Montreal, I got married. I had 2 beautiful children in Mexico City. We loved our time there. We shared meals with family and friends. We traveled and we created memories that will last a lifetime. In 2019, our family decided to move back to the United States in order for our children to go to school. It wasn't an easy decision. When I told Bank of Montreal that we were leaving, I knew I had a 50-50 chance of losing my job. The bank had a specific mandate to have boots on the ground in Mexico. When I told my boss about our plans, without hesitation, he told me I was an asset to the team, that he would support this move, and that he would like me to continue in my same role working from home. Talk about dream come true. So we packed up 8 years of our lives, 2 children, a dog, and our worldly possessions into a moving van and came to the United States. My mom was right. I did fall in love. I did get married, but we did come back home. And here I am. I now live in St. Charles, Missouri with my young family, and I work my dream job. I still speak Spanish and I help people every day. I must tell you that I wouldn't be here without education. That education includes learning inside and outside the walls of university. Not making light of my time at Rockhurst or the National University, but education includes knowing different people, different customs and traditions. I wouldn't be here without my network and those human connections. I am here today because people believed in me. People took a chance on me, and there was a mutual impression made. I am so grateful for the words spoken by my father. Those words are part of his legacy. Human connection is fundamental in my success story, but also in all success stories. The GSE experience is an impactful part of my life for many reasons, but most importantly, it opened the door for many next steps. Lastly, I challenge each of you to think about your what ifs and work towards changing them into why not. It's imperative to dream the dream, but equally important to take actions and living those dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. We appreciate you sharing that story with us today. Yay. Just making sure that the mic was still on. It happens from time to time. It's rewarding, isn't it, when you get to hear this impact that Rotary has on people's lives, specifically in this point, the group study exchange trip, that it can change somebody's life, it can change your career. I do love the fact, though, if you're going to move back to the United States, of all the places you could pick, you pick St. Charles. Hey! And we've got a Sunrise Rotary Club that would love to have you stop by and have breakfast with us any Wednesday morning at Bogey Hills Country Club. It's the joys of being the MC. You get to plug your club while you do it, right? Kind of makes you wonder what 12-year-old is out there right now that is going to have a very similar experience based on something that Katie did. So thanks very much. Continuing on our theme of education today, which I'm rethinking my daughter going to college at Central Missouri next year when you found out Mexico is free. Sure, that's a discussion she's not going to want to have with me. But today, we are showcasing club projects on some video highlights on educational projects that clubs have done to promote basic education and literacy. Check it out.
Every day this week, we're showcasing the service projects of our District 6060 clubs in each of the Rotary areas of focus. On Monday, we shared an overview of the 7 areas of focus. On Tuesday, we showcased some of our club's health-related projects. Today, we'll be highlighting club projects to improve education and literacy. And as you'll see, some of the projects are traditional ones, and others are rather untraditional and unique ways to promote education and literacy. Promoting literacy in both their local schools and their public library has been a recent focus of the Piedmont Rotary Club. They've distributed coloring books to first graders and dictionaries to third graders. This year, they donated 300 fiction and nonfiction juvenile books to their public library. Rotarians labeled each book as a gift to the library from the Piedmont Rotary Club. The Wentzville Rotary Club helps new first-year teachers to start their classroom set of books to promote leisure reading in the classroom. They've had this project for the last 3 years, and during that time they've purchased, labeled, and donated hundreds of books to promote literacy in kindergarten and first grade classrooms in the Wentzville School District. Among some of the less traditional educational projects is Chesterfield Rotary's donation of hundreds of dictionaries for students learning English as a second language. Immigrant and refugee students from 30 different countries work with the English Tutoring Project of St. Louis, and they have benefited from dictionaries to improve vocabulary in the academic areas of science, social studies, and math. Chesterfield Rotary's partnership with the English Tutoring Project helps these students succeed in the classroom. In the past 3 years, Overland Rotary Club has donated $6,000 worth of violins, bows, and violin cases to 6 elementary schools in the Rittner School District. The 18 violins are loaned out to students whose parents could not otherwise afford for their youngster to play this instrument. Research shows that students exposed to music education perform better in academic subjects such as math. The Rotary Club of Troy responded to a need of their second grade teachers and provided tower gardens that promote science education in how food grows. After seeing vegetables grow in their classrooms, youngsters actually want to eat more vegetables at home. The Forest Park Rotary promotes literacy and learning by letting preschool children play in the mud. Through their partnership with United for Children, that provides preschool experiences for low-income children, Forest Park Rotary has donated the outdoor mud kitchen. Another outdoor play set for preschoolers introduces them to STEM learning as they design and build creations of their own. West St. Louis County Rotary participated in a recent global grant implemented by Rotarians in India to provide technology in their local school. West St. Louis County Rotarian Nan Kulkarni and her husband were on hand to celebrate the completion of the e-learning in schools global grant. Congratulations to all of these clubs and others throughout District 6060 who are promoting education and literacy in their communities. On Thursday, we'll be showcasing club projects in the areas of water and sanitation and conflict resolution. Please join us again on Thursday as we continue to highlight District 6060's People of Action.
Thank you, Sue Cobb. And Sue, a special thank you for everything you have done this week in putting all that together. She spent a lot of time in really putting these videos together for the 7 Rotary areas of focus that we've been highlighting. So thank you very much. You know, I told you earlier that on Monday, we showed you a message from our district governor, Tom Drennan. That was kind of partially true. We had some technical issues on Monday, but God willing, we got through it anyway. But we didn't really get through all of Tom's message. So we wanted to give you an opportunity to hear Tom's full message. And so you're going to hear that right now. And we're also going to give you some updates on what's going on with polio, with Rotary, and also in our district. So ladies and gentlemen, our district governor, once again, Tom Drennan.
The entire District 6060 leadership team, welcome to your district conference. Thanks for joining us today and hopefully for the rest of the week. This promises to be inspiring and informative. This has been quite a year, and I think we can agree that due to the great work of the scientists, medical professionals, and healthcare professionals, and many others, we're getting close to returning to life as we know it before the pandemic. As we transition, as local health guidelines will allow, back to in-person meetings and gatherings, I urge all Rotarians to reach out and engage those members who've not been able to stay connected as it would have liked to, and make them feel welcome and encourage their involvement as we go forward. This would be a great time to showcase your club to potential members. Our district membership chair, Bill Dees from the Hannibal Club, has been doing a great job in bringing new ideas to all of our district Rotarians through interactive sessions with club leaders. The results are beginning to show positive results. As Mike had mentioned, my Rotary history goes back over 20 years. As time has gone on, I've grown in Rotary by welcoming and taking to heart each Rotary theme, such as this year's theme, Rotary Opens Opportunities, to heart as they are unveiled each January at the International Assembly. I do not consider the themes to be replacing prior years, but adding on to the past legacy of Rotary and showing the way to the future. I've had the honor and privilege to get to know many of my fellow Rotarians throughout our district, and we will celebrate some of the achievements of our clubs and Rotarians this week. The tenacity of our Rotarians is utterly amazing, and our world is a better place for it. Our club presidents have risen to the occasion by keeping their members engaged and involved in the many great causes they've been known for. Throughout the pandemic, we've seen our clubs rise to the occasion in many different ways. They are epitomizing serve to change lives, whether it was preparing box lunches for healthcare workers at a local hospital or assisting at vaccination sites. Clubs have organized blood drives. They've stood out in the cold ringing the bell to keep the Salvation Army red kettles full. They've raised money and increased awareness for the fight to end polio. They've been keeping commuter parking lots and highways clean. They've collected food to restock food pantries. They've held barbecue cookout fundraisers. Many clubs are providing needed scholarships for local graduates. Our clubs have demonstrated adaptability and resilience while continuing to serve both at home and throughout the world. Our district leadership team has been working tirelessly to make sure you and your clubs are successful. With past District Governor Linda Poobauer from the Southeast Missouri Service Club as Rotary Foundation Chair and a great committee of sub-chairs, our district has added 11 new Paul Harris Society members, which which represents at least $1,000 annual donation to the Rotary Foundation. We have also added 9 major donor level 1 and 1 major donor level 2 and 3 major level 3 members to our foundation. This will serve as a reminder of how important it is that every Rotarian to support our Rotary Foundation every year. Let's finish this year strong by supporting the Rotary Foundation. Past District Governor John Vietmar of the Washington Rotary Club is serving as district trainer. He will soon be serving on the Show Me Rotary Board to ensure the high level of training excellence continues. Past District Governor Tim Cutt of the St. Peter's Club will be the chairman of the Show Me Rotary Committee starting on July 1, and he'll help guide the 3 Missouri District training event this spring. Next spring. I'd be remiss if I failed to mention past District Governor David Robinette of my home club, Overland. David is serving as vice governor of our district and as the Assistant Rotary Foundation Coordinator for Rotary Zone 31. He's a valued friend, mentor, and source of almost all things Rotary for me, and has spent countless hours helping me as district governor and many other Rotarians. District Governor-elect Margie Sammons from the Arnold Rotary Club, who you'll get to know tomorrow's session, is charging full speed ahead into serving as your governor for 2021-2022. She's been actively working with the President-elects and our assistant governors to have a great start of the Rotary year. The President-elects and all other officers of all our clubs have been well trained at Show Me Rotary and are prepared to serve to change lives. The entire District 66.
Hello, I'd like to welcome Jerry Berthold from the St. Genevieve Rotary Club. Jerry's a Paul Harris Fellow. He's past president of the St. Genevieve Club. He's been a member of the Rotary for about 20 years. This weekend on Sunday, Jerry, as a fundraiser for polio, will ride his bicycle 100 miles throughout St. Genevieve County, even into a little bit into Illinois, for raise money for polio. This is a fundraiser supported by the Interact Club of St. Genevieve Rotary. They have about 20 members, and they've done a great job in fundraising. So far, the club itself has donated $1,000 to get things going, and the Interact Club has raised about $1,500. With the Paul Harris match, that could equal up to about $7,500. So, Jerry, good morning, and tell us a little bit about your ride.
Yeah, the ride, St. John County would be a beautiful ride. Be the first time I've done a century in my county, so that's going to be fun. The Interact Club is backing me along with the Rotarian Club of St. Genevieve, and I'll be able to share awareness because of an international project that to spread awareness about polio. This ride to end polio will start at my home. We'll run through I'm going to hit every city, little small city in my county, and wrap back around and finish in the city of St. Genevieve, the share awareness. Yeah.
That's very good because to bring awareness to polio. I know donations for the polio are down a little bit this year. So as district governor, I'm encouraging clubs to step up and continue supporting the fight to end polio because it's so essential. And as district governor, I really appreciate what you're doing, and we plan to share this with my fellow cycling fellowship members across the U.S. and Canada. And in fact, at this point, I plan on joining you in St. Genevieve to help bring the last 30 miles in together with you so we can celebrate the ride. So we look forward to seeing you do that, and we will post it on social media and congratulate the Interact Club for what they're doing and tell them how much we all really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I never knew. I have articles I'm going to share. The local, the Sun-Times News locally has got a big spread about the ride. The Herald paper, local paper's got a big spread in about that. It just took off from there. The president of Rotary, Stephanie Grimminger, has done a great job of preparing a brochure our pamphlet, our flyer, the social media aspect, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's really been shared. The donations, though they're small, are just coming in. I grabbed 2 last night outside at home. Hey, I heard, and that's what we want.
That's really good. I hope some of our other club presidents and president-elects will take this to heart and let them know that things can be done. So thank you, Jerry, and I hope to see you in St. Genevieve on Sunday to celebrate the finish of your ride.
Thank you for helping.
All right.
Well, thank you, Jerry. Good luck on the ride on Sunday. 100 miles. So you're doing that intentionally, right? 100 miles on a bike. God love you. I know where you're going to be on Monday, and I hope that whirlpool feels good on the hindquarters after you get done with doing that. We appreciate all the efforts that clubs are doing and individual efforts like this with Jerry in helping to raise awareness for polio and raise funds for that. So if there's anything that your club is looking for a project, that things are starting to open back up a little bit now. So maybe there's something your club could put together. And congratulations to the Interact Club for getting involved in that. You're just hearing so much this week about different things that are going on throughout the district. And Chris Wells on Monday, man, we're recording all of this. So you're going to have an opportunity to go back and see any parts of the district conference that you want. But if you didn't have a chance to hear Chris on Monday, speaking to us from the UK, that guy's exciting, infectious personality, and just makes you want to get involved. But they're doing some amazing things with young people around their area. And it's kind of a challenge to see if we can do the same around here. Well, folks, I believe that brings us to a close of day 3 of the district conference. We're over the hump, and they said it couldn't happen. If you join us tomorrow, we have our keynote speaker, which is John Huco, the General Secretary of Rotary International. He is a dynamic speaker. You're going to be inspired to hear him as well, and he will make you proud to be a Rotarian. Tomorrow's theme is focusing on 2 areas, because we only have 5 days and 7 areas, so you got to double up, right? The math doesn't work. Water and sanitation and peace and conflict resolution is what we'll be focusing on tomorrow. You'll be able to see, like Sue said earlier in our video, see some of the club projects that are going on around these areas. Don't forget, tomorrow we will start up at 11:45 with the Zoom link, so pop back in on there, and we will start the session promptly at 12:05. So on behalf of our Chief Engineer, past District Governor Dave Robinette, my name is Mike Elam. I forgot to say welcome to all of the past district governors who have joined us today. It's good to see you. There's a bunch of them on this call today, so it's good to see you guys. We hope to see everybody back here tomorrow at 11:45. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.